I thought I would answer some long overdue questions from the Debenhams Beauty Club forum. I went on live a little while ago and we just sat down and interacted. I answered so many questions, but certain skin problems kept coming up time and time again. So what I thought I would do is I would go into the Debenhams Beauty offering and choose 5 hero products that will answer the 5 most common skincare questions that I got. So let's start. Let's start with dry skin. At this time of the year, so many people have dry skin. I totally understand. You might be flying, you might be going skiing. Supposedly we're going to get the beast from the east again this year in the UK, which basically means that the cold wind is going to come down from the polar vortex and your skin will suffer. It simply will. You need a barrier between you and the outside world, and I'm going to introduce you to Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, created many years ago for a very famous Olympic skier. It was formulated to protect your skin in the extreme conditions of when you're competitive skiing, and it just works. It hasn't been reformulated in all that time. It's been around longer than I have. It's a true beauty icon, and it can be used anywhere on the body that you suffer from dry skin: hands, knees, elbows, face, neck, chest. It's perfect for this time of year, and it's absolutely loaded with what's known as natural moisturising factors, and they are chemicals that are found naturally in the skin that simply boost the hydration levels. Glycerin, squalene, urea. It's got 6 different forms of oils in it. If you open the top, you'll get a sort of peel off layer, metallic layer that keeps everything super fresh. It's just a really great, suits all dehydrated dry skins formula. It works, it really does. It's an icon and a long-standing hero product for a very good reason. How about dull skin? I think at this time of year, when you're going through seasonal changes, dull skin can be a real problem. I know it certainly is for me, when my skin just seems sallow or slightly rough to the touch. And what you need is something for fatigued skin. Well, have you seen this? I'm going to start off by showing you the 3 bases. This is the new Clinique ID System. These you'll be familiar with. These are the Clinique DDML, dramatically different moisturising. There's a lotion, a gel and a jelly, depending on your skin's type or needs, or simply what formulation you like. But have you seen these? These are the boosters. There's 5 of them. This one is for fatigued skin, and what you do is you open up the packaging, you get that little booster, choose your base of choice, open the top, screw that in, and then the pump action here means that you get a little boost of additional ingredients in your everyday moisturiser. It's really very clever. It's the sort of system that normally will be found in a dermatologist's office or in clinic, and I think to find it on the high street is very interesting. Let's concentrate on the fatigue serum. When it says fatigue, it does mean dull, lifeless, seasonal transition, just back from holiday. Maybe you've partied too much, maybe you've just come out of a period of illness, just when your skin needs that extra little boost, and that's how this has been formulated. So it's got glycolic acid in, which is what essentially dull skin needs. It needs exfoliating, and it needs a really gentle, regular exfoliant like this level of glycolic acid. It's also got caffeine in. You know that caffeine is often used in eye creams. It boosts superficial circulation, so that if you've got any puffiness or you've got any sort of stagnant lymph in your skin, caffeine can definitely boost that. It's also got glycerin. It's got adenosine triphosphate in, which is a form of energy that your skin needs to keep cell turnover ticking over at a healthy way. It's also loaded with green tea, which is a brilliant antioxidant. And it's got a prebiotic in it, a lactobacillus ferment. You've heard me talk about probiotics and prebiotics in skincare before. This is the first time that Clinique have used it, and I really like the idea. The idea is that you feed the healthy bacteria on the skin what it needs, so that your bacterial levels on the skin of the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria stay at the healthiest level they can. There are also 4 other boosters that you can use, so definitely either go online or go on counter and check out Clinique ID System. I think it's very, very interesting for a high street skincare brand to take the next step into customizing skincare. What about when your skin loses its elasticity? You'll know when it does because you'll get to my age and you'll start doing this in the mirror. You know, when you sort of lift your skin up back to where it was. That is a breakdown of the elastin in the skin. Collagen keeps the skin plump, elastin keeps the skin firm. Now, I'll be really honest with you, there's not a lot that skincare can do when your elastin starts to go. However, what you can do is a tighten as it dries serum. This is Vlogger, and this is very, very clever. And the reason it's clever is because, look, it comes with a little roller. This is Ultra Lifting Serum. They call it the Lift Designer Serum. And what it is it's loaded with something called pullalan. And pullalan is an ingredient that tightens as it dries. It's actually found in those breathe strips that you have on your nose, where it's used to tighten and lift to the skin. It basically sticks to the skin. However, if you put it in a super hydrating, really lovely glycerin, turmeric-based antioxidant, squalene, sodium hyaluronate, that's hyaluronic acid in its salt form, serum, which is what this is, and you put it in a little roller, it means you can use it like this. I would obviously use it here because that's the bit of my face that's most saggy, but you can use it around the eyes, on the forehead, over the cheeks, and you will feel it start to tighten as it dries. Now that is a temporary effect. However, in the meantime, you're also giving your skin lots of glycerin, antioxidants, hyaluronic acid, hydrators. It's a really lovely, hydrating, milky serum for those that just want that slight sort of, because that's the effect it has. Now let's talk about anti-aging, and I've got first steps anti-aging, so fine lines and wrinkles, and then as you get slightly older and you want a slightly richer formulation. So Murad have got Revita Elixir Recovery Serum, and this is a really interesting one. I don't know if you know Murad, but it's a really interesting dermatologist range. It's created by a dermatologist called Dr. Howard Murad, who is a celebrity dermatologist on the west coast of America, and this is their new Revita Elixir Recovery Serum. And it's very interesting because when you look at it closely, it's got lots of tiny little bubbles that actually you never see, because apart from in the packaging, because they break when you pump it onto your hand, and what you end up with is a serum that is both hydrating in the sense that it's got apricot kernel, sodium hyaluronate, which is the salt forms of hyaluronic acid. It's got caffeine, urea, it's loaded with peptides, it's got hexapeptide 8 in it, but more importantly it's got niacinamide in it, which means that it will tackle uneven pigmentation and also overproduction of sebum. So it's a good balancing first step anti-aging serum. And I know that's an unfashionable term, but more importantly, if you look at it really closely, can you see that? It's got a slight unicorn effect to it. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I mean that it's got a cosmetic effect to it that is slightly lit from within. It gives skin that sort of healthy glow. That's a cosmetic effect that does wash off. It's very clever. They use sort of a light reflective particle in it that bounces light back. I mean, it's a great first step serum. It really, really is lovely. Super hydrating. Anyway, it's a great one for if your skin is beginning to show the first signs of lines. However, I'm going to finish with Galan Abeille Royale, which I very rarely get the chance to ever try, and I'll tell you why. It's my mother's all-time favourite serum. She got addicted to this when I was a beauty editor on magazines, and she would steal it off my desk if ever I was sent it. This is a beautiful, hydrating, caring, gently plumping serum. It's loaded with honey, which is also loaded with royal jelly as well. It's got a low-level glycolic lactic acid, which I think is really interesting. My mother has never said anything about, and when I've used it, you will never notice your skin peeling or getting that normal sort of glycolic overnight lactic acid feeling. It's got such a low level, it purely resurfaces gently so that your skin appears brighter and clearer, and those superficial signs of dehydration and lines disappear. It's also loaded with sodium hyaluronate, which is the salt form of hyaluronic acid. It's a really, really lovely hydrating one if your skin is slightly drier and slightly older. So there you go. They were the most common skincare concerns: dullness, fine lines, anti-aging, dry skin, and lack of firmness. And I feel what I've chosen here is 5 hero products that you can look out for, each one targeted to solve each of those skincare problems. By the way, If you want any advice, do go back into the forum, because there's lots of skin experts and beauty experts who are involved in the Debenhams Beauty Club, and they do pop in every so often, I know I do, and go back in and answer people's questions. I hope my pick of the 5 hero products to sort out each of your skincare concerns has helped.